Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, if you look at the date on your calendar, your phone, your iPhone, your iPad, your television, whatever it is you use to know what day it is, you will see it's Thursday, which means it is officially the beginning of college football season. And I say that because we had those few games this past Saturday, but since they called it week zero, zero means nothing, so that week meant nothing. So now we are officially at week number one, and we'll talk about some of the games coming up tonight in a couple of minutes. But first, I want to do a quick NASCAR review. I have not talked NASCAR in quite a while here on the channel, and this upcoming Sunday will be the last race of the regular season, and then after that they will kick off their playoffs. Harrison Burton, who is the son of Jeff Burton, won this past weekend's race. It was the Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona. Of course, that race used to be July 4th weekend. NASCAR, thank God, changed their schedule up, and I say that because for years and years and years, they went to the same tracks, the same weekend every year, and to me that's just boring and redundant and repetitive. But now, outside of the Daytona 500 kicking off the season, for the most part, the schedule has been completely redone, and they're redoing it every single year. But the Coke Zero Sugar 400 was won by, as I said, Harrison Burton, the son of Jeff Burton, and he drives the 21 car for the Wood Brothers, who have been around forever. I want to say it was the 100th all-time win for the Wood Brothers. It was a good win for Harrison Burton because they've already fired him. He has lost his ride in that car. And I'm not saying that Harrison Burton is going to be some great Hall of Fame race car driver, but the Wood Brothers just have not been what the Wood Brothers were back in the day in 20 or 25 years. So they just continue to bring in drivers, give them 1 or 2 year deals, and then fire them and start over again. Harrison Burton's already lost his ride. They've already named a replacement, and all the hot seat rumor mill stuff I've heard and seen, I have not heard Harrison Burton's name mentioned, so I'm not sure he's going to be in the Cup Series at all next year. But the win sucked for me because Kyle Busch finished second, and Kyle Busch has had an awful year up until about the last 3 weeks. He's ran inside the top 10. He had Daytona won, and that would have put him in the playoffs, and Harrison Burton passed him on the last lap. So now, unless Kyle Busch wins this Sunday in the final race of the regular season at Darlington, he will not make the playoffs. But Christopher Bell, 3rd, Cody Ware, 4th, Ty Gibbs, 5th, Darrell Wallace Jr., 6th, Parker Retzloff, 7th, Brad Keselowski, 8th, Daniel Hemrick, 9th, and Chris Buescher rounded out the top 10. Of course, all the long-time NASCAR fans know that Daytona is pretty much like a demolition derby. It's a wreck fest. So that's why you see guys like Harrison Burton and Cody Ware and Parker Retzloff up front, and they're not normally up front because at Daytona, if you miss a wreck, by the time the race comes to the end, you have a pretty good chance of finishing up front, because usually by the time they get to the last 5 or 10 laps at Daytona or Talladega, about every car on the racetrack has been involved in some kind of accident. That's why I never did like plate racing, because when you've got 40 drivers that close together, if somebody loses a tire, 20 cars are taken out of the race. And that's why you look back through the history books of NASCAR and you see so many drivers that have won at Daytona or Talladega that have never won anywhere else, because those tracks, it ain't about talent, it ain't about driving skills, It's about being lucky. And as I said, this Sunday, the final race of the regular season, 6 o'clock Eastern, Sunday night from Darlington. That is the new, as of right now, Labor Day weekend race. But tonight, college football officially kicks off with week number 1. Now, there are probably about 30 games, I would say, tonight. I'm not going to sit here and run down the list of all of them. I'm not even going to talk about tomorrow night's games. Just tonight. A lot of the games that I'm going to talk about are games that are going to be on TV. And by TV, I mean ESPN, ESPNU, ESPN2, Fox Sports 1, the CBS Sports Network. I'm not going to talk about games that are on ESPN Plus because most people don't have ESPN Plus, and I don't blame you because you have to pay extra for it. And at 99% of the time, the games they carry aren't worth watching. But we have Western Carolina and NC State tonight at 7 o'clock. Lindenwood and Kansas at 8 o'clock. Murray State and Missouri is also 8 o'clock. Southern Utah and Utah, 9 o'clock. Howard and Rutgers, 6 o'clock. North Carolina A&T and Wake Forest at 7 o'clock. New Hampshire and Central Florida at 7 o'clock. Arkansas Pine Bluff and Arkansas at 7:30. And then the two big, I'll say primetime national TV games, of course, different networks. 8 o'clock we have North Carolina and Minnesota. Also 8 o'clock we have North Dakota State and Colorado. Now, North Carolina is going to take a huge step back from where they were last season. They're still going to be decent, but Mack Brown's the only coach you'll ever see that has back-to-back first-round draft pick quarterbacks and all that wide receiver talent all over the field at a day and time when offense runs football and win absolutely nothing. But they don't have the quarterback play this year they've had the last couple of years. And Minnesota always plays that gritty defense, so I expect a good game there. And I hope North Dakota State beats Colorado. I don't know that they will. They'll definitely hang with them. But Deion Sanders has turned into a complete douchebag. He had a rider banned from their stadium because he said Colorado had a bad year last year. Well, they were 4-8. I would say that classifies as a bad year. You talk about thin skin. You've got some thin skin. If everybody in the world knows you had a bad year and a writer says you have a bad year and he's banned from the stadium, if Colorado ever gets good, Deion Sanders is going to be insufferable. But I don't think it matters. I think he'll be fired in 4 or 5 years, and I don't know if he'll do a good enough job to get a job somewhere else. I guess we will find out. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Enjoy night number 1 in the 2024 college football season. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Poison ivy crossed with the 4-leaf clover will get you a rash of good luck. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.